We're happy for her. What I decided to do, I said I'm going to put pen to paper. I'm going to make sure that what I practice, I preach. So I adopted, most probably in Tembisa, I've got 15 young people who are all Nyaupe. They are called Nyaupe boys. And I call them champions. Because they are not defined by what they take or what they find themselves in. They are dynamites whose future is bright and beautiful. And every Sunday in the afternoon, in fact, yesterday morning I met them. I was with them yesterday morning. Unfortunately, one of them relapsed. And I said, our meeting is folded, let's go find him. So we went, put them all in my bucket, and we all went to find this young man. He cried tears when we got there. He was high as a kite on Nyaupe. We just embraced him and loved him and told them that life will be better because I believe in him. You see, the difference with a lot of people is that I believe in you and your capacity and ability to change your situation to make it better. You are destined for greatness. You are black and beautiful. You ought to be proud of your history and where you come from. In fact, Fanon says, never forget where you come from and always remember the bridges that carried you over. Somebody bled and died to provide an opportunity for you to sit where you sit. So you cannot think that you're smart and intelligent and that you achieved it by yourself. You've got to make sure that you leave your community far better than when you found them. These are my champions. Yesterday I was with them. Today I'm here. I've got some in Didier and I'll be with them tomorrow. Let's never forget where we come from and always remember that we are better today because somebody provided an opportunity for us to be where we are. And we just need to take the baton and we can carry on. Follow me on social media. I lost practically everything, by the way. When I was in active addiction, I lived in 4 ways, sold the house, smoked it, had shares, and I saved with humility, had shares, and I had to restart again. So I sleep 4.5 hours. That's as far as I can afford to sleep. Because the trajectory and the path of what I still need to do is too high. So no more time for games. No more time for playing catch up or playing with frivolous. It's time to pick your life up and utilize sessions like this and ask questions and take your life into your own future. You're destined for greatness. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Daveyton. I just remembered, I don't know if you would remember that my younger brother, the one who's operating the sound system here, was also an addict. And you took him to rehab, and he has been clean for 5 years now. So thank you so much, and I know there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. We need to clean the streets up. We have a support group in Etwa for these young people. Bona, they haven't been to rehab yet, they're still addicted. There are times when we get there and we find them high and we have to wait for the thingy to, subside before we can start having our session. But what I can tell you for sure is that we've got very smart young people who are drowning in these drugs, and we need to really save them because that will mean saving our own country. So thank you for that. Without wasting time, I'm going to be handing over to Nhlanhla Lux. Okay, so guys, Nhlanhla will be tackling the topic on township economy and unemployment. And without wasting time, let me not go into detail. I'm just going to hand over to you. Thank you.
I think I'm going to copy Penwell's introduction. Yesterday was Penwell's mother's birthday. Today is my mother's birthday. And she's here with us, so I'd like to introduce her. So I said to her this morning, no, cancel your day, I'm taking on the tour. Hey, I'm at Lapa, man. I'm going to talk in city to us. So, I've got 250 rand in my hand, and I'm going to give to the author of a fantastic book because I'm going to buy the book. So I thought that's an important example for trade. We are in the township, he just made money. So I just gave a pure example of what the township economy is. The township economy is us. It's nothing else. It's us. That's why we have the power to direct it where we want to direct it to. But before I even get into the depth of township economy, I also want to take a little bit of time to speak truth using this platform to our people here. I'm not making excuses for them. But reality needs to always be spoken. Majority of the people that I'm seeing here, I do not know. But the problems that we have, half of you are fighting for family houses as we sit here. Half of you have been chased out of your grandmother's house when she passed away. Some of you, your own siblings that you share the womb with, you are not in speaking terms. The families are broken beyond measure. So how do we expect the community not to be broken? Our communities are filled with broken homes. So that's where the spirit of competition comes from. That's where the spirit of not working together comes from. Because we've got problems of today. Some of you don't know what you're eating today. If I call Oppenheimer, that means to say, sit here, I've got some of the leaders in the community wanting to talk to you. And then you get a call to say that there's no way you'll have a constructive meeting with the Oppenheimer. Even you have the best checkmate for all of us to win from. You never do it. You never do it. At some point, we need to appreciate that we must fix the basics and make sure that the ducks are in a row. And only then can we do some things. And I think our government doesn't understand that we actually have it hard for in real life. And I'm not making excuses for anyone. Our people have it hard. We've got kids in grade 8 in townships that are pregnant. And it's not an excuse I'm making for them. Why? Because they don't have supervision at home when they go back home. Because all their mothers are superwomen that have been empowered by today's systems and believe that waking up at 5 and going to Sandton to work is the life, neglecting their kids in the process. So I agree with Penrod a lot when he says that we need to go back to the roots and actually appreciate that we're lied to, and we need to redefine who we are, and we need to recreate the systems so that who we are can make sense in this time. Boom, man. I'm going to be the first, and I know you are conditioned to go to social media and say, ooh, that guy is sexist and he doesn't care for women. There is a natural universal role that you need to be playing in life. You are not playing that role. Instead, you are succumbing to the pressures of being in systems that you do not even understand yourself. It is not by natural design that a woman must go underground for mining, for the whole day. It's not your biological design. But the systems say that no, these black men are abusing you by making you stay at home. When we forgot that we need to harmonize and balance each other in the communities, in the households, and in the country. We are producing kids right now. Where the majority of our young people are on substance abuse, whether alcohol or drugs. My simple contribution to this, my very simple contribution to this, wherever you find yourself, whether in your homes or in the communities panel, we need to remind our people to go back home. And home is where our ancestors are. Home is what we did pre-colonization. Before, and I'm not racist by any means, but I'm real by all means. So, pre-colonization, what did our people do? I'm not talking about belief systems. I'm not questioning whether your relationship with Jesus is important. I'm not there. I'm saying that the ways of life, what did our people do to survive? Because Africa was a brilliant continent that thrived and had so much success before colonization. So what did our people do? Planting is one of them. Spinach, what we do. It's disgusting that we are poverty-stricken, but there's no one planting anything. It's just plain disgusting. Some of the things that we do go so way to that, so the team is here, you can talk to them afterwards. We are even planning on buying cows in Soweto so that we can have a community project, example in Pinville, where the cows every morning, young people before they go to school, they wake up, home and go give the poor households fresh milk. And we have chickens that we are buying and the same happens with the eggs. That's now addressing food security. Oh, it can be on a small scale, no problem, but we're addressing it.
That's right.
So, we need to dig deep in ourselves, and it starts with loving each other. That I'll put aside. Now, the environment, going back to township economy and a little bit of what I also want to talk about. The environment is more important than the mindset. If you want to argue with me, no problem, stand up. Sit down. I'll tell you why. I'll help you understand why I didn't want you to stand up, because I was going to walk over you practically. And I love you too much to do that. So, it doesn't matter what you want to become in this life. I'm a pilot, I fly planes and helicopters. I wouldn't have been able to acquire a skill of flying if I didn't set an environment to complement that mindset that I wanted. If you want to play the PSL, you can't chill with cricketers. You might just end up playing cricket. Our program director spoke about the friends you have. That's part of your environment. So let's take it back home now. Why are we producing so many nyapes? Because the environment is conducive for that type of production. We've got every corner selling drugs. The environment is producing druggies. That's why some of us go straight and grab the bull by its horns and we find the drug dealers. When was the last time you heard a drug dealer being arrested in Daveyton? But every day there's a new nyobe kid being produced. Or in Nhlanhla. Why my love, why are you important roaster? So environment. I often say to people, no. We do not speak to this person. And maybe there's some of the solutions we might need to take and use if need be. If someone is a problem person, don't speak to that person. Don't even engage that person. Change the environment and assess the outcome. That person will change. Amen. Swim every day. I swim pool. I don't be there. Not swim pool. I swim every day. What's what I give you every day? Mostly say what lads not swim pool. Swim every day. Environment doesn't allow for that. So I want to stress the idea of environment. Even you said that our biggest problem is not only in Africa, but even those who come outside of it. Their biggest problem is the environment that enables these people to come and do what they have to do here. The laws are form part of our environment. So when someone from America comes here and finds it fit to set up a whatever chain store or a McDonald's or whatever the hell you call it, it's because the environment enables him and allows him. And in the process, it is at the expense of the people. And then when we take the stage, and this is not shots at everyone, myself included, we then say, Pakistan. Why not Pakistan? What? The environment allows them. The environment doesn't allow you and I to lead mining. I was saying it to Daveyton the other day on TV here. In Germany, part of their curriculum is to study mining and detailed mining. In South Africa, when I subjected mining go high school, but the center of our economy rests on mining. That means the environment is not teaching the kids to lead their own economy. But in Germany somewhere, where they don't even have the minerals necessarily underground, they are teaching their kids about mining. That tells me that in 5 years or 10 years, that kid in Germany graduates, they must come and lead you and your kids. Got your own economy, mining. And when you look where the problem started, was in the environment. The education system forms part of our environment. I'm a product of the education system myself sitting here. And I want to tell you that I am clueless as ever. If I ask you what makes up the South African economy, don't tell me the township economy, the South African economy. What makes up the South African economy? You guys look it up. A lot of our people don't know how to answer that question. And then when you simplify it, because life is about simplification of everything. You remember maths? You have to simplify everything to the lowest common denominator. That happens in life. That's what life is. So when you simplify it and you speak about the simplest version being the township economy, our own people can't define the township economy. Our own people don't know what's the township economy. We have been reduced and conditioned to thinking the township economy is Paza, the Kawash. I'm going to introduce you to the township economy real quick. In Soweto, from the 1st of September, when everything blossoms, even our minds are going to blossom in terms of the new ways of doing things. We've introduced in every ward, we are talking about it, we are also living it. We are now saying that we are redefining the economy for what it actually is, not what they want us to believe it is. You've got billboards around this place. Why aren't we talking about that economy? Where I come from in Soweto, the billboards take out of Soweto double-digit millions every year.
That's right.
Nobody speaks about that. Now we are saying in every ward, go Soweto. Billboard, when it changes from KFC to McDonald's, it will be changed by the young people of that ward. What that means is that the billboard companies will now need to start absorbing the young people and training them. Because there's no van, it's us claiming our township economy with immediate effect. So, on the same example, we also opened a trust account for each ward. We are now doing things different compared to our parents. Because if there's no change between us and our parents, then we're a failed nation. We're a failed generation. There must be a difference between those that came before you and now, in the thinking and the actions. My mother couldn't have thought of opening a trust account for the wards in Soweto and one main trust account for Soweto. She couldn't have. So you need to be better than your own people at home and in your communities. That's the real competition. Be better than those who gave you opportunity to be here. Otherwise you're wasting time.
That's right.
We now have a trust account in Soweto. Elunga is a main trust account.
Each community.
Each community also owns a share of the billboard space. So the billboard companies are now going to start paying the dividends into the trust account. We did not have the infrastructure to have these conversations. And that's why it was even a waste of time when you meet them, these big monopoly capital, wherever they are, that's a discussion for another time. When you meet them, you don't have the infrastructure of leadership to get anything out of them. So now you're creating the infrastructure. Because when I'm gone and when you're all gone, the trust account will still be there. It will still be there. It's an infrastructure of serious leadership of the township economy. So, the double-digit millions that I speak about, if 40% stays in Soweto from ownership, and then you've got a ripple effect of young people working, manning the billboards. I just gave you one example of an economy we never ever think about. Another one, Daveyton, it does with this one anymore. But la bala tari dustbin ka Tuesday, are ka Tuesday. Traka etla, ito la dustbin ya hao. Ke traka ya bang eo. Awana maspalo na ke traka. That's why they go to them. All these trucks are outsourced. Pick it up by only truck. So get trucker ya man anymore invoicer. Pick it up. Let me just invoice and government. Get trucker ya man. In so way to from the 1st of September, Ronald was saying about it. Let's say Baran came in again. How that trucker again and if you asset trucker ya man so way. In our ward, the truck that must be taking the pins must be a truck owned by the person of that ward. So if you've got 40 wards in your area, you are already saying that 40 people are business owners at a high level that can invoice pick it up 200,000 a week. And what was once deemed as a Nyaupe boy is now converted because we've got opportunity for them to work on the same trucks. So I can go on and give you the real definitions and breakdowns of the real township economy where the real money is being made. Not being forced to relonele kawashi, relonele spaza. We form another trust account. We are better than our parents. We don't just do it and sing and make noise until our kids grow up to learn the same songs and they repeat the cycle. We form a trust account. You make a deal with all the sponsors in this area. You say that the only place where you stop, since you've got a trust account, get Daveyton, is this trust account is buying a wholesale cash and care called Daveyton People's Cash and Care. Now your foreign brothers are buying from you. The real people in business are you, not them. Because no one tells you that every time you think of Spaza, and you need to connect where the Spaza gets his groceries from, that's the real business. That's the real business, not this thing here. So they want to condition us they want to keep defining things for us. So move out of the system a little bit, step outside, and start redefining your own lives. And start taking control of your own lives. And start, you don't have to like each other, by the way. You don't have to like each other. You just have to make sure that some of you here play your part in setting up infrastructure that will take your people forward. You don't need to talk to the people straight. You just don't need to do that. My last example of the importance of setting up such structures is the electricity in Soweto. Again, we are known for electricity on our Soweto, or there's load shedding every day and so forth. Now, ESCOM says we owe it. How much? I just don't keep ESCOM figures in my head because they are lying 99% of the time. 93 billion. 73 billion. So we 7.3 billion, not 73, 7.3 billion. Yeah. So we owe them billions, so they say in Soweto. And our argument is government is not playing ball, political leadership is not intentional, nor is it deliberate. We spoke about that. What do? We need to create an infrastructure that doesn't allow them enough opportunity to abuse us. Then Soweto now is about to introduce its electricity trust account. Our people pay directly to the trust account. Then the leaders of the community, let's say Soweto, we are in millions, guys. Soweto's got a population that's far greater than Botswana, Lesotho, Swaziland put together. So when I speak these numbers, you must understand you're speaking about a place that can possibly become its own country. No, I'm being serious. Serious. So now listen. Collecting just 200 rand, not the 6,000 that ESCOM is saying our people must pay now. 200 rand from every household in Soweto every month. In 6 months, I can walk into ESCOM and say that I've got 8 billion in my account. So I'm negotiating. What are you doing with the electricity for my people? We can't suffer the load shedding that you're making us suffer. We can't continue to live like this. And this is the fundamental difference between, again, I'm not racial, but between white communities, Indian communities, and black communities. These people use infrastructure of leadership and use money to go negotiate. That's why ESCOM will never shut down electricity incentive versus how it shuts down in Alexandra, in neighboring community. It's simple. So now Soweto is going to be leading that revolution, and I hope you guys can also adopt it. Speak for your own resources. Create your own money. It's possible. It's not impossible. You don't need anyone to come and tell you how. You just need a few young people stand up, and whether they are supported or not. And I'd like to end on a note of support. By the way, you don't need support to make a difference. I'm a living testimony right now because there's some comrades who didn't want me here. They didn't give her their support for Lux to be here. But Lux is here. And where are they? They are there. So you really don't need their support. You need your own conviction and understanding that this will be done. Come rain or sunshine, this is going to happen. Who amongst you, or your peers or your family, has started their own church or their own, maybe not church, religion? Who amongst you? It's because you're not thinking outside the box. But we've got Penal here, starting his own. You call him crazy right now. So, in regards to the township economy, I had an option of giving you figures and giving you stats and telling you about where I know you are in terms of your mental space and how you were conditioned, and I play around that and I make sense to you. I am more than happy if I'm not making sense to you. Because if I'm making sense to you, I am playing within the boundaries of the system, then I'm not making justice with this mic. I need to take you out of the normal space of thinking, because that's the real abnormal space of thinking. You must step out of it and start thinking different and start giving us new solutions so that our kids can have a better future guaranteed. We can't repeat what our parents did, because what they did yielded these results. And if we go on, I want to tell you a secret. I hate being on the streets and leading marches. I hate it with all my heart. I hate it. It's disgusting. Because young people are watching. It's conditioning them that whenever we have a problem, we must just sing and take to the streets and be anarchists and And the kids are amazing, they do it better. Once they see you doing it, then it's their turn, they do it better. That's why you say you're better than my mother. Because I gave one a role with my papa. Okay, Khaba, Tasha, okay. It's my turn, I'm fit, I'm young now, So I'm going to ask that we all go home, dig deep within ourselves. I hope you're making notes, because I just learned a lot from what they had to say. Let's combine everything and let's not speak about it. Let's take action around it. Guys, if we take action with our lives, that's all we need. Just don't forget, my parting shot, the environment is better than whatever you can decide in your head. Set that environment to suit your mindset, and there's nothing else. Success is almost guaranteed when you do that. Nhlanhla Lux, Soweto Parliament.
Sure, thank you so much, Nhlanhla. Thank you so much. We are going to be opening up for questions.